start. So it's time to start. So welcome to SDGs workshop of 2024. I'm Dr. To of Unsika University. Dr. Andriana and I will chair this workshop. And this workshop has begun in the era of the corona pandemic, and in the era that we could not make a collaboration with other countries. So we start this workshop to continue the international collaboration in the era of the corona pandemic. But even after the corona pandemic, the meaning of the this workshop is enlarged, and many participating. I'm very glad that many universities participating this workshop. This year, the theme of this workshop is protect our biodiversity. I expect the active discussions. So before starting the workshop, I'd like to have the opening remarks from the deans of the participating universities. At first, I'd like to invite Professor Fujiwara of Unsika University. Professor Fujiwara, please.
Thank you very much, Do-sensei, for the kind introduction. I'm Shinsuke Fujiwara from Unsika University. On behalf of the Unsika University, I extend a warm welcome to all the participants from Malaysia, Indonesia, and Japan who have gathered together for the opening ceremony, especially Professor Muhammad Roja from UiTM, Malaysia, and Professor Du Wibobo from Unsoed, and Professor Abe Santo from Undip, and Professor Agun from Unpad, and Professor Rumanus from Unsoed, and Professor Gudekaran from Udayana, and Professor Sadidan from Unsika, and Dr. Anga from USH. And it is an honor for our university to host this meeting and provide a platform for students and researchers to share important insights. I hope this gathering be a source of inspiration to think about biodiversity for all. Thank you very much for joining today.
Thank you very much, Professor Fujiwara. Next, I'd like to invite the Dean of the UiTM, the Professor Rosie Ahmad. Please start.
Thank you, Jackson.
Thank you very much.
Distinguished Professor Dr. Shinsuke Fujiwara from the Dean School of Biological and Environmental Sciences, Kwansei Gakuin University, Japan, all the deans and representatives from universities from Indonesia as well. On behalf of the Faculty of Applied Sciences and University of Imara, Malaysia, I would like to extend a warm welcome to all the guests and participants. It is indeed a great pleasure to welcome eminent scientists, researchers, and all the students from these three countries, Japan, Indonesia, and Malaysia, to be gathered here in this fourth online workshop on Sustainable Development Goals from today until tomorrow. So it is also a privilege for us from Malaysia to be invited by Kwansei Gakuin University to get involved in the workshop, and hope that the workshop is expected to benefit all the participants, especially our students as a whole, in terms of research development, in terms of networking, in terms of establishment of and disseminating of scientific knowledge, and especially in SDGs. It is hoped that the information discussed in this conference will contribute significantly in seeking and addressing challenges, and finding suitable solutions related to SDGs in the Asian region. So I would like to thank KGU from Japan and also all the other partner universities from Indonesia, and hope that everyone will have a good conference and a good time. Thank you. That's all from me.
Thank you very much, Professor Rosie Hamada. Next, I'd like to invite the Dean of the Undip, Professor Abesi Santo.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Honorable Professor Wusimara, Professor Toh, and also Professor Pipin, and the leader of some university which joined on this group. This event is very, very interesting for me, I think, because Kwangse Gakuin give or offer to the student how to speak, how to communicate, how to present something related with the SDGs. So, and the other hand, we can communicate with some university. And this year, not only from Unsud, not only from the other university, but many, many universities. So I hope, Fujiwara Sensei, this event can continue every year, and maybe not only the students, but also some lecturer. So it will better. So this is my thank you for this event. And once again, let's go to the event with enjoy. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Abesi Santo. Okay, before starting the workshop, Professor Andreana will give some information. Please, Professor Andreana.
Okay, thank you very much. So I'm going to give some information about our seminar workshop today. So first, about the rule, discussion will be 20 minutes. And then, I'm sorry, presentation will be 20 minutes and discussion will be 5 minutes. And the other thing also, now we are record the workshop and we are going to upload to YouTube. So if there's any objection from the student or from the audience, please send email to me that maybe you don't want to be your face or your presentation will not don't want to be uploaded in the YouTube, for example. And then the other thing also, during the closing ceremony, please open your camera. And then I think that's all from my this information. So I give it to Tosese again. Thank you, Tosese.
Okay, thank you very much. And the presentation is supposed to start from the 11:25. So then the first presentation is given by UiTM Group 1, and the title of the presentation is Tree Diversity and Tree Community Composition in UCS Forest Puncak, Alam, Selangor, Malaysia. Okay, please start.
Hello, can you hear my voice properly?
Yes.
Okay, let's start. Okay, good morning, my fellow audience. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Nur Arif bin Muhammad Tarmudi, and with my partner, Muhammad Ikmal bin Jainuri, and we are excited to talk to you about our project entitled The Tree Diversity and Tree Community Composition in the UCS Forest Puncak Alam Selangor, Malaysia. Under supervision Professor Madya Dr. Secha Ganda Secha and Dr. Faiza binti Pardi. So for this presentation, our team expected all of you to gain a few knowledge about the tropical forest in the Malaysia and the tree diversity and composition of the UCS Forest Puncak Alam. Okay, next slide. Before we dive into our project, as you can see here, there are a general outline for our presentation today. And we will begin by looking at some key points during the presentation. As you can see, the presentation will be start with the introduction, problem statement, hypothesis, methodology, and will be end with the conclusion that we got from from this project. We will discuss about the result and the data that we get about the three species that present in the US forest and how the three species distributed in the forest. Because of that, it will give you the first impression about the forest and the biodiversity present in that study site that we went. Okay, next slide. So before we go deeply into our presentation, so what is the biodiversity? According to the Ha thesis, biodiversity can be described as the complexity of the community biological characteristic, and it usually can be measured or determined by the number of the different species in the area. On the other hand, biodiversity encompasses not only the diversity of the world species, but it also their species richness, evenness, and how the species distributed into the various locations. So, what is the importance of the measuring the biodiversity? Measuring this variability metrics of the biodiversity, the different indices are crucial for us to acknowledge more about the health of the ecosystem, which are important to oversee the environment and conservation mission. So, because of that, Malaysia is the one of the Malaysian mega diverse countries in the world. It ranked 12th in the world. According to the National Biodiversity Index, Malaysia has the various species with the 50,000 species of the vascular plant, 300 species of the mammals, and 500 species of marine fish, and more than 500,000 species of the invertebrate that only in the Malaysia Peninsula or the Borneo area. Okay, next slide.
All right. Hello. So next is for introduction for the terrestrial ecosystem for the tropical rainforest. So according to Ajayi in 2019, tropical rainforests are said to be the terrestrial ecosystem that possess the most greatest species variety amongst all the other ecosystems. So tropical rainforest supports a variety of living forms because of their consistent, warm and humid climate, which contributes to their greatest biodiversity. Tropical rainforests that are close to the equator enjoy year-round high temperature and copious amounts of rainfall, making it to be the biome that receives the most rainfall or precipitation. And Malaysia is also located close to the equatorial line, are known for its lush, evergreen and rainforest flora, and where they still encompass almost 2/3 of Sarawak and Sabah and more than 2/5 of Peninsula, according to Landbach and Oijindi. All right. So from here, there are some examples of the interesting characteristics of our rainforest in Malaysia. So some of the example for the tree is Hopia subulata, or we here call it as pokok broccoli, which can only be found in Kancing Forest Reserve in Rawang, Malaysia. Here are Shorea faguetiana, the tallest tropical tree globally, which also native to Malaysia. And for the right side is Dariobalanops aromatica, which are mainly sought for its high value medium hardwood as timbers. So the above picture is the crown shyness, which is a phenomenon that are shown by the three species Dariobalanops aromatica. All right.
Okay. On the other hand, Malaysia has the high richness of the other various species, such as the Isia palembbatica, or we here call it pokok berbau. For your information, during 2020, pokok berbau has been chosen to be the national tree for Malaysia. There are a few reasons why we choose it. First, pokok merbau is the native species for Malaysia, so it can be found all over the Malaysia from the Peninsula Malaysia and the Borneo. Then pokok merbau is the very hard wood with the high durability. Therefore, the wood are very suitable for the wooden wardrobe, stairs, and the other musical instrument. The durability is proved when the old artifact was found with made with the merbau at the Kina Batangan Sabah, still strong even after 900 years old ago. In addition, Malaysia also has high richness in Acularia malacensis, or we call here is the pokok gaharu. Its timber will produce the unique aroma, so it will be used for the perfume essence and the aromatical incense that can reduce the stress and other neurological disorder.
All right, so for the next one is our study site, which is at University Cawangan Selangor Forest, or UCS Forest. This is formerly known as Denai Kadamba. It's located within UiTM Puncak Alam in Selangor, Malaysia. So UCS Forest is a lowland dipterocarp forest, which is abundant with dipterocarp species. They are considered as secondary forests due to its destructive logging activities that it has experienced about a few decades ago. So this forest, even though it has experienced the logging activities, it still retains its natural occurring tropical rainforest characteristics, such as the tropical rainforest layer from canopy emergent, canopy understory, and forest floor. So, however, its biodiversity status is still unknown. So, hence, that's why we are doing our study here in UCS Forest, UiTM Puncak Alam. So these are for the problem statement for our study. The first one is the richness, evenness, diversity, and biodiversity index of the three species. The inhabit UCS forests are still unknown, so we have to find it. And the second one is insufficient information on the biodiversity status makes any conservation efforts becomes difficult. So hypothesis, the first one is UCS forest, UiTM Puncak Alam has a high degree of three species diversity and a low degree of three species dominance. And second one is UCS forest is also a secondary forest that is currently experiencing a regeneration phase due to logging activities for a few past decades ago. All right.
So the significance of this project, it will provide the biodiversity information for UCS Forest Puncak Alam for the further conservation effort. For the second one, this project will be act as the baseline data for the future scientific research because the UCS forest is not documented yet. Okay, next slide. Okay, for the objective, there are three objectives that we provide to you. First, to determine the distribution of the three species and the stand structure that are inhabiting the UCS forest Puncak Alam. The second one, to analyze the variety of different type of trees and their relative abundance in the UCS forest. And the lastly, to calculate the biodiversity index of the forest using the multiple indices such as Margalef indices, Pillow, Simpson, and Shonen-Winner index.
Alright, so here are the methodology that we use for our study, starting from study area, quadrat sampling, identification of tree species, and also data analysis for the last part. Alright, so for the first one is study area, like what I said before. So yes, forest is Puncak Alam is located at coordinate as stated there. So although it's a secondary forest, yes, forest still shows common characteristics of tropical rainforest in terms of forest profile, right? So though it was recognized to retain its tropical rainforest characteristics, its biodiversity status were still unknown and must be studied. So the data obtained will then be act as a baseline study for more further research and conservation efforts or exploration expeditions can be done within the study area for the benefits of UiTM administration in UiTM Puncak Alam. So for the next one is quadrat sampling. So this is how we gather our data. So quadrat sampling was chosen as the sampling method to collect the data. So 5 quadrats with dimension of 20 meter times 20 meter were set up using metal rods and raffia string around the study area. So the quadrats base were randomly selected because this is to establish a random chances where every trees within the study area have have an equal chances of getting selected. So the trees were then measured using diameter tape to measure its diameter at trace height. So, and the specimens collected were leaves and pictures of its barks and crown. All right.
After we did all the quadrat sampling, so we will collect all the leaf, bark of features and to be referred to the botanist. But however, the tree leaf specimen that have been collected will be identified using the Google Lens based on the leaf morphology and the bark appearance to find their specific name or even their families. So the confirmation of the name will be checked through the online website such as the Plan of the World Online and the Malaysia Biodiversity Information System MyBis. However, all the confirmation will be finalized when we refer to the botanist and the tree expert for their morphology and based on their opinion. Therefore, the three species will be documented and will be high quality. So as you can see here, there are two persons that we appreciate for helping during the identification. First is the Professor Dr. Nazib bin Suratman, and the second one is the doctor researcher from the FRIM, Dr. Ahmad Fitri bin Zohari. So for the next methods, after we, okay, next slide. Okay, sorry. Okay, after we finalize all the data, will be used the 4 different indices which are the Shonen winner diversity, Pilo evenness diversity to determine their dominancy within the area, Simpson diversity, and the last one is the Magalhae richness to determine the richness of the 3 species during the area. So because of the high too many specimen within the time, we are using the PASS software to run the specific data as well as the biodiversity indices. So the PASS software will produce the specific number for all the indices we use for this project.
Right, so let's move on to the results of our studies. So, right, so overall results, okay, a total of 5 quadrat was set up, and from the result that we've gathered, a total of 146 tree species individuals consisting of 73 different species, as well as 28 different families were recorded and analyzed. So, so according to the table in the slides, quadrant 1 or Q1 ranked the first place for the quadrant with the most tree abundance of 43, followed by Q2 or quadrant 2 with 30 individuals at the second place, and Q5 or quadrant 5 with 28 individuals at the third place. From here, Q5 has also the most species richness with 23 different species, followed by Q1 with 21 species and Q4 with 20 different species. So these are the overall results for our studies. So moving on to the next results is for the biodiversity indices. So from here, we use 4 biodiversity indices, which are Shannon-Wiener Diversity Index, Simpson's Diversity Index, Magalhae Richness Index, and also Pilo's Evenness Index. So after the analysis that we have done, so Q5 has the most diverse species compositions with a H value or Shannon-Wiener value of 3.085, while Q1 has the least diverse species with a H value of 2.627, where the higher the value, the higher the species diversity within that area. So aside from that, all right, so for overall result of this obtained data, so overall, UCS forest shows a very high diverse species composition with a high richness and also a high evenly distribution of tree species within its area, which indicates a healthy ecosystem within the forest.
So for the net result about the relative abundance of the tree species in the UCS forest, the trend reveals that Kea kunslare from the family Calophyllaceae has the highest relative abundance with 9.15%, followed with Dacrodus rostata bursraceae, and followed with the Lithocarpus cantillarianus from Fagaceae with the 5.23%. More, on the other hand, most of the other tree species have their abundance value range between the 3.25% and 1.13%. Therefore, it indicates that UCS forest has the single species that show the low species dominant and the high diversity of the tree species. If we compare to other uh, secondary forest in the Peninsular Malaysia, we compare to the Bukit Panco Recreation Forest in the Puncak Alam, it also showed that many individuals of the tree species indicates the singleton or only one species during the area for the area, such as from the family Alangiaceae and the Dileniaceae. So you can see that two pictures from there, Kenya kunslare and the Dacrodus rostata from the bursraceae. Okay, next slide. Okay, for the family-wise distribution, we get the total 28 different family from the 146 tree species. The family bursraceae dominate at the top chart of the distribution with the most abundance at the 22 individual or 50% of the population, followed by the family Calophyllaceae with the 60% or 11% of the population. Among of all the species, 12 families of them has the small number of individuals, either 2 or 3 species, such as the Sapidaceae, Rhizophyllaceae, and Oliphyllaceae. They make up only 1% of the population respectively. So however, we expect that UCS forest has the was dominated by Dipterocarpaceae. However, the result revealed that only 3% of the population come from the family Dipterocarpaceae. Okay, next slide. So, last result about the DBH distribution. The the smallest DBH below one of the 1.5 centimeter accumulate with different species, particular Syzygium species and Artocarpus integer, and the biggest DBH that we got is the Gordonia singaporeana with the 62.6 at the DBH. So, as you can see the pie chart, you can see that there are a huge abundance of the sampling species, seedling species, sorry. So based on the studies that we refer, NAZIP 2012 state that the high abundance of the small diameter trees indicate the presence of the regenerating process, supporting the burden of the forest. So all for this data indicate the UCS forest is undergoing a regenerating phase, confirming the presence of the human logging activities within the area. Next, our team expect that the natural succession where the all three species die and decompose, creating the gap for the light source for the young, for the seedling to grow and thrive.
All right, so we have come to the conclusion of our studies. So as for the conclusions, all the three objectives that has been stated earlier of the study has been reached successfully. So variety types of tree species as well as their relative abundance have been analyzed. The biodiversity index value starting from the four indices has been calculated, and also the UCS forest has shown a very highly diversified species compositions as well as an evenly distribution of the tree species for the tree species in the UCS forest. So in short, UCS forest is a secondary forest which currently undergoing a regeneration phase with a high degree of species diversity and species richness within it. And also with this data acting as a baseline study, All right, so further scientific research and also conservation efforts in the future will now be available to be worked for. Right, so these are the recommendations, some of the recommendations that we recommend for this study. So more data collection, okay, for higher amount of samples data gathered will undoubtedly accurate and representable data to represent UCS forest, and also a clearer data collection rules. All right, so a clearer or stricter way on how to collect the samples data. All right, will improve the data accuracy and will prevent any error from occurring. So here are our references, right, for this presentation. And also that's all from us. Thank you for listening. Thank you if we take some times, right?
Okay, thank you very much, UiTM Group 1. Now the paper is open for discussion. Are there any question or comment? Okay, if no, I have a question about the result. So could you please show the result about the biodiversity indices? Yeah, this one, yes. So the you measured the 4 indices at each quadrant, and finally you calculated the indices for the overall. And in most the overall indices is similar to the indices measured at each quadrant, except for MDI. So in the case of MDI, the overall indices shows a larger value than the indices measured at each quadrant. So my question is why such a discrepancy occurs for the MDI? UiTM Group 1, can you understand my question?
Sorry, can you repeat? Please.
So-
Please, can you repeat?
So my question is at first you to measure the indices for each quadrant, and after that you calculated the overall indices, and the indices are similar to the overall indices are similar to the indices measured at each quadrant, but in the case of MDI, the overall indices are larger than the indices measured at each quadrant. So I'd like to know the reason why the overall indices of MDI is larger, why it is larger than the MDI indices measured at each quadrant.
All right, okay. So, okay, the answer for that question. Okay, thank you for the questions, Professor. So, so the reason why the overall value of let's say for the Channel Winner Diversity Index, right? So why the overall value is higher than each quadrant, right? So because of in each quadrant, okay, we have all right. So here, for the amounts of total number of individuals within each quadrant is different, but in overall, it is the sum up or the accumulation of total number of individuals for every quadrant that has been set up within the study area. So why the overall results is higher? Because the data for the overall results is based on the total number of individuals from each quadrant add ups, all right? Why it's higher from each individual quadrant? Because each individual quadrant only consists of 3 individuals. They are confined within its quadrant, its quadrant respectively. But for overall quadrant, it is consists of every quadrant that has been set up. So in the end, it yields a higher number of biodiversity indices value that we have calculated. Does that answer your questions?
But you know, the MDI is
MDA. Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So
Okay,
the
Marga left.
about 2 times larger than the overall indices. It shows twofold larger than the MDI measured at each quadrant. Twice larger. So the overall MDI is 14.45, but the MDI measured at quadrant is about 4 to 5, 4 to 6. So so my question is why so overall MDI is larger than the
I understand the question. All right, so for this analysis, we use past software or paleontological statistics software, which is to calculate the biodiversity indices for these results. All right. So for this explanation, I believe that why the MDI value of overall is, I understand why it's very high, right? So I believe that this is because for the tree here, total number of individuals here, or the total number of species within the study area that has been set up. So most of the species that we have analyzed has only a small amount of individuals within it. I mean, like only one or like 2, 3 individuals only represent its species. So because of that, due to the low number of relative abundance but a high number of species richness, it affects the calculations for the overall data, which makes the MDI value for the overall results becomes extraordinarily high, higher than the individual quadrants. I believe that.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, welcome. Is there
Okay,
any questions?
Yeah, are there any question or comment? No?
Okay, I think
Please.
I have a question because we still have a lot of time. So I would like to ask about the gaharu wood. So any kind of the control from the government or from the local government concerning, to maintain the sustainable of this gaharu product. Would you like to tell us? Yes, that one, gaharu.
For the gaharu tree or Aquilaria malacensis, right?
Yes.
So, okay, for pokok gaharu, here in Malaysia, there are certain some steps or ways on how to conserve the gaharu woods because it has economically value, but it also needs to be conserved to protect its distributions in Malaysia. So some of the ways on how to improve conserve this tree is through sustainable harvesting practices. So for control Aquilaria malacensis or pokok gaharu can be conserved through controlled cultivation. Right, so this is to by establishing plantations specifically for gaharu productions, and for the harvesting time, it will take some times for for gaharu production of gaharu products, right, to be harvested. It has several time interval to be harvested between each time. So this is to reduce the pressure on the distribution of gaharu trees, right? So other than that, it's also based on we can also conserve gaharu tree from habitat conservation. So pokok gaharu not only in the wild. I mean, we also we also planted it for our economical benefits, right? So by establishing protected areas where gaharu producing tree grows, it can also help conserve the tree distributions and also their natural habitats, right? So this also includes enforcing any anti-poaching laws to protect the trees from illegal tree harvesting. All right.
Okay, thank you. So I think
Okay.
I agree with your information about the cultivation or cultivate gaharu, but any kind of the issue maybe in the I mean people in Malaysia that quality of gaharu belong to wild and cultivation is different, something like that. Any kind of the information about that one? I think this is wild is better than cultivated, or cultivated is better than wild. Cultivated is better than wild is okay, but the problem when the wild one is better than cultivated, I think.
Okay, thank Professor for the question. So, based on the studies that we read, there are a few difference between the wild gaharu and the local cultivated gaharu. The wild gaharu, is as we can know that the unique smell of the gaharu is produced by the interaction with the microorganism. So, with the wild gaharu, it showed that there are various type of the microorganism, such as the mm, wait, such as the Fusarium species, that it will produce the smell of more woody. So compared with the so the gaharu will passive resistant to that uh organism, that it will produce the woody smell that can more attractive to the uh it will produce a smell that more attractive compared to the cultivated gaharu. Uh, the farmer only use the one species only, by using the inoculation technique that only produce the only one smell. So we can see why the wild gaharu is very high demand compared to the local one.
Oh, so this is real, yeah. The wild gaharu is high demand, yes. So maybe one day it's a kind of adulteration also maybe happen. Yeah. Okay, so the other thing, one curious question is about pokok merbau. I think it looks like in Indonesia, kayu besi maybe. I don't know exactly about this. So I'm not I'm not forester, so therefore, because you mentioned that pokok merbau after 900 is still strong, something like, or maybe strong just again. So I don't know actually, but maybe this is we call this kayu besi, similar like in Indonesia. I don't know exactly. Is it true or not? Okay, maybe thank you very much, To Sensei.
Okay, thank you very much. And there may be more question or comment, but time is over. So let's move to the next presentation. So thank you very much, the UiTM Group 1. And the next presentation is given by Unpad. And the title of the presentation is From Field to Future, the Chilembu sweet potatoes and their genetic resource development. So if we are ready, please start.
Okay, thank you, Professor. Previously, can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Kintan. Hello, everyone. Good morning from Universitas Pajajaran, Indonesia. Let us introduce ourselves. My name is Azka Algina. I'm a master's student majoring agronomy, and here I am with my friends. Could you please introduce? Okay.
Hello, I am Fadila Ridara. I'm a master's student majoring of agronomy.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and all the participants. I'm Kintan Widya, as an undergraduate student majoring agrotechnology.
Hello, I'm Dila Raihan. I am an undergraduate student majoring agrotechnology too.
Hello, I'm Debbie Ustari, majoring agriculture science. Thank you.
Okay, we are truly honored to present our study at fourth online workshop on SDGs by Gakuin University and partners. And we would like to present our study about From Field to Future, Cilembu sweet potatoes and their genetic resource development. And we'll talk about, and this is the outline of this presentation. The first one is introduction, follow with current status and genetic resources, and then economic and health values, follows with case studies, and then development strategies, and the last one is the conclusion. We all know sweet potato or Ipomoea batatas has been cultivated in several countries and ranks 6th as the most major food crop in the world. And maybe you are curious about Cilembu. One of the most popular sweet potato varieties in Indonesia is Cilembu sweet potato, or known as ubi jalar madu, or in English, we can call it honey sweet potato. It's very well known here because it's very sweet, and we can see the figure in the next presentation. Okay, next. Genetic resources is very important to support our sustainable food production. We can see in this graph, preservation of genetic resources is one of the components that support world food production. Why? Because PGR, or plant genetic resources, has an important role to play to ensure and are the biological basis of food security. Also, PGR for food, and especially for agriculture, consists of diversity of seeds, planting materials of traditional varieties, and modern cultivars, crop wild relatives, as well as other wild plant species. Based on the background, the study aims to provide an overview of the current status of Cilembu sweet potatoes and explore the development strategies for their genetic resources. And we aim to underscore the critical role of genetic resources in unlocking the full potential of Cilembu sweet potatoes.
Okay, in this chapter, I would like to explain about current status and genetic resource of Cilembu sweet potatoes. Cilembu varieties come from family Unsoed districts, Sumedang, and has intellectual property right for local variety. Cilembu sweet potatoes has been designated as a superior variety. And then Cilembu is called honey sweet potatoes because the flesh of the fruit can release a honey-like liquid after being baked. The color of the skin after flesh of sweet potatoes is a reddish cream when raw and yellow when ripe. The shape of sweet potatoes is long, and the skin is rough with long and prominent veins. The uniqueness of Cilembu sweet potatoes in several studies have shown the trademark Cilembu sweet potatoes flavor and sweetness are hardly produced outside Cilembu village. If planted outside their habitat, the quality of taste and honey will be tend to decrease. So, the Agribusiness Association of Honey Sweet Potatoes Cilembu made HSP natural habitat and made it a geographical indication pattern explaining that the honey sweet potatoes Cilembu has certain uniqueness related to natural factor. So that the quality will be maintained if it's cultivated in its natural habitat. This picture is a map of Sumedang Regency, Sukasari, Tanjung Sari, Pamulian, and Rancakalong subdistrict are geographical indication area pattern for Cilembu honey sweet potatoes with a planting area around 5,325 hectares. Next. Cilembu has been developed in 13 sub-districts in Sumedang with production range from 26 to 586 hectares. Next. This is the genetic diversity and distribution of Cilembu sweet potatoes. The first phase is survey in the Cilembu area, and then the second phase design an experimental method using a randomized block design with 59 accession, include 26 near-com and 30 other variety. And then we conducted selection for crossing and evaluating multi-environment trial. And finally, we survey in the larger area and then collection especially for ranging variety. Next. These are 18 accession that has been collected by Pajajaran University. Next. In the pie chart, show that the most of the land in Cilembu is dedicated to growing non-near-com sweet potatoes variety. Next. Why the planting area of near-com so small? Near-com and have a long harvest period. Yield production yield reduction to 2 ton hectare from 7 ton hectare because susceptibility to pest and disease. On the other hand, the changes in the market orientation from fresh Cilembu sweet potatoes product to big product has also contributed to low of Cilembu planting area. And these are phenotyping some accession Cilembu sweet potatoes. Okay.
Next. Okay. Economic and health values of sweet potato. Next. This image is a world map illustrating sweet potato production by country in 2022, measured in tons. The color coding indicate the production levels. The dark red is the country producing 5 million tons or more. The red one is countries producing between 2.5 million to 5 million tons. The dark orange is country producing between 1 million to 2.5 million tons. And in this picture, China is the leading producer, marked in the dark red. Other significant producers include countries in Africa, the Americas, and Asia. The countries like the United States, Indonesia, and Tanzania are shown in the dark orange, indicating substantial production levels. So this is a tree map chart depicting the export of sweet potatoes, both fresh and dry in 2022, along with the respective share of the total export value, which amounts to 744 million US dollar or 12 trillion rupiahs. And sorry. And the United States is the largest exporter with a share of 24%. The Netherlands is second largest exporter, and Egypt is third largest exporter. And each country is represented by a color rectangle, where the size of the rectangle correlates with the export share percentage. Okay, and this is a tree map for the importers of sweet potatoes. The Netherlands is the largest importer, and then the United Kingdom, and the third place is Germany. Next. In Indonesia, the export value of sweet potato is worth 11 million US dollar, or the equivalent of 190 billion rupiahs, while the import value reached 17,000 US dollar, or the equivalent of 280 million rupiahs. Next. This is an infographic about the nutritional information and health benefit of the sweet potato. And in this picture, if you can see, this is an infographic highlighting the benefit and properties of sweet potatoes, emphasizing their digestive and nutritional value. And this is the image and food made from sweet potatoes, namely baked sweet potatoes, and they in this food is have a detailed nutrition that you can see. Next.
Okay, here we would like to discuss about some case studies related to Cilembu sweet potato. And the next. And this is the study about farmers' motivation in cultivating Cilembu sweet potato by Fianda in 2023. And it's such an interesting result that farmers motivate to cultivate Cilembu sweet potato because the land is sweet to this kind of commodity, and the price is high, and also because of the tradition. And some of them cultivate this kind of sweet potato because of interest, water scarcity, and also side businesses. And this is the results about estimated average income for farmers using sprinkle irrigation compared to rain-fed farmers in Cilembu, Sumedang. And we can see in the table that farmers using sprinkle irrigation have higher income, very higher income from rain-fed farmers. And in light of this, we can conclude that water availability is very important for Cilembu farmers to gain more income. And then we also study about genetic variation among 10 accessions of ranching. Ranching is new honey sweet potato. But actually in these results, the genetic relationship among the accessions is narrow enough. It grouped to two main clusters and two subclusters. Okay, next. And these are the results of principal component analysis. They group the accessions into two groups, and it's also narrow here. And these are the visualization among the relationship, the genetic relationship among the 10 accessions of ranching. Next. And we can see the figure about variation among the 10 accessions. Actually, ranching is kinda yellow fleshed sweet potato, but the skin is different among the accessions. And next, it's kind of documentation of us. We did harvesting ST1 ranching at our experimental site at Universitas Padjadjaran.
And then next, now please allow me to explain some strategies we can apply due to the genetic research development on Cilembu sweet potato. Blend breeding is one of the strategies we can apply for Cilembu sweet potato because each distinctive trait of the honey sweet potato itself caused by the highly interaction of the genotype with the environment. Besides, the sweet potato itself, mainly the Cilembu varieties, has many opportunities to be used as an alternative food in Indonesia due to their superior quality, and it's also increasing the demand. But the main problem, it has not been able to fulfill due to the low production. Some of the original varieties in Cilembu are many and superior. For instance, Nirkum, Menes, Jawer, and Eno. But they are threatened with the extinction because they are no longer planted by the local farmers there in terms of long harvesting period and also no more resistant to the disease. And nowadays, the most widely cultivated variety honey sweet potato of Cilembu is ranching variety. And this is the picture, as you can see, that show us the comparison between Nirkum and the ranching. The ranching is quite smaller than the Nirkum by the length and the diameter of the tuber, but it has the similar flesh color and the skin color. Actually, for now, many studies have been carried out to improve the quality of the local sweet potato itself. So the breeder have explored the local sweet potatoes, especially in Cilembu and other West Java areas, to collect the germplasm, and then we can use them as breeding material. Here are some practical purposes of breeding honey sweet potato. The first one is high-yielding sweet potato. In other words, higher yield per area is an important trait or character. And the second one is improving quality of the tuber, for instance, the size, the shape, the color, also the nutritional content of the tuber and the sweetness level. Also the resistant to pests and diseases, and then environmental stress, for the example, the drought stress, and then for collecting the germplasm. And here are the plot for some main traits for selecting the honey sweet potato. There are three main traits. The first one is fresh weight per storage, and then yield potency, and lastly, the Brix or the sweetness level. These three main traits actually correlated one and another based on the tuber shape. There are elliptic, long oblong, and oblong. Since the higher value of fresh weight show us can also increase the yield potency and the Brix. This report also show us that the long elliptic tuber shape tuber has the best performance among the other shape tuber. And then next, here are some of our research project on sweet potato, and we also conducted some collaboration with esteemed institution such as Kemendikbudristek, LPDP, DRPM Unpad, Balit KB, CIP Peru, Sensient Color LLC, and our other local partners. And here are some key projects we are currently undertaking. The first one is the development of new varieties of sweet potato and food products, including the PFSP or the purple fleshed one with high in anthocyanin, and then the WFSP or the white fleshed one, rich in starch, and then OFSP or orange fleshed is high in beta carotene, and then the last one is YFSP, which is yellow flesh sweet potato that we know has the high beta carotene and sweetness. Also, we do explore for natural dyes. We are investigating the potential of sweet potato itself for the source of natural dyes. And then the third one is stability and adaptability of yield traits. We evaluate the performance of sweet potato yield traits across different agroecosystems. And then we select some of new honey sweet potato varieties. We focused on yield and sweetness level to select the superior varieties. And then the next one is etiology and resistant to scurf disease. We identify and select the resistant clones to combat scurf disease in West Java. And then we do some DNA genotyping, and then population development through crossing, the conventional crossing, and then we do QTL mapping and analysis also for bioplastic production. And then next is the breeding process of sweet potato, which involves a series of schematic steps here, as you can see, to enhance desirable traits and improve overall crop quality. For the first step is germplasm collection. This is actually the initial steps, which involves gathering a diverse collection of sweet potato from various local sources in Indonesia. So we collect the germplasm around Indonesia, and then we characterized and evaluate the germplasm to identify the genetic and phenotypic traits. And it's also help us to understand the potential, the limitation of each germplasm. And then we, based on the evaluation before, we select the best performing germplasm. This step actually help us to ensure that the only superior genetic material is used in this breeding process. And then we cross the based on the elder selection germplasm, we crossbred the germplasm to combine desirable traits from different parent plants. And then when the crossing has the offspring, we select the offspring, and then we evaluate the most promising individuals. And then finally, from the selected varieties, we do yield and multi-location tests to assess their performance in different environmental conditions. And then next, here are the image that illustrate two distinct process for developing and improving plant varieties. The left one is new variety technology from breeding. There are crossing and then selection and then yield performance test and multi-location test, also the variety development. And on the other hand, there are commercial local variety purification technology that consists of sprouting, variety purification, seed propagation, and development. And here are the picture of our faculty of Agriculture, Universitas Padjadjaran, that we has conducted exploration and conserve the local germplasm extension in West Java. We used the material to increase the genetic capacity of a new type of honey sweet potato. And this is for the example, this is the new variety of the honey sweet potato with the purple flesh. Why we include the purple flesh? Because one of the parent of this purple flesh sweet potato is Nirkum. So we can claim this can be the new variety of sweet potato with high potency as food alternatives in the future. And this is also the purple flesh. And we do also develop the vegetative propagation with hydroponic methods, as you can see here. And then we also develop the processed product. And this is the baked sweet potato. As you can see on the screen, the specialty of the honey sweet potato is the honey itself. You can see the nectar inside when you bake it. And this is another processed product picture. This is the processed product made from purple honey sweet potato. You can also make Indonesian traditional food here, the right one, it's called cenil. And then this is the yellow orange honey sweet potato. You can also make sweet potato sticks or even macaroni. Okay, that's all from me.
Okay, in light of this study, we can conclude some conclusions. Next, we can conclude that the collection and germplasm conservation of local sweet potato are very important to develop new sweet potato in Indonesia. Improved sweet potato germplasm is one means of addressing crop and productivity, climate change, pest and disease challenges of especially small and medium-sized farmers in Indonesia. And the adoption of technologies, especially breeding technologies, is very important to unlock the potential of this kind of Cilembu sweet potato. Okay, that's all from us. We truly appreciate your attention. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for interesting presentation, Unpad group. So now the paper is open for discussion. Are there any question or comment? Okay, I have a question. So in the presentation, it is told that the planting outside the Cilembu village, it causes it decreases honey sweetness of the potato. So not only the genetic factor, but also the environmental factors are important for the honey sweetness of the potato. And I'm afraid I missed something, but what kind of the environmental factors affect the honey sweetness of the potato? Such factors are identified or not?
Okay. So what the question is, what is the environmental factor that influence Cilembu sweet potato? Is that your question, Professor?
Yes.
Okay. Maybe actually this question belongs to Dr. Debbie. Sorry. You can help us to answer this question.
Yeah. Maybe go back further. So in the beginning of your presentation, you mentioned that the planting outside of the Cilembu village.
Yeah.
So the planting the potato outside the Cilembu village decrease the honey sweetness of the potato.
Yeah.
So some environmental factors in the Chilembu village affect the honey sweetness of the potato. So my question is, which factors of the Chilembu village affect the honey sweetness of the potato? So water or some kind of the soil nutrition or such factors are identified or still unknown or
Okay, I answer the question from the professor. One factor is soil condition. The Chilembu region has a volcanic, well-drained soil that are rich in organic matters and nutrients. And then the warm, humid climate is well suited for the growth and development of sweet potato. And then farming practices, traditional farming methods such as the use of organic fertilizer and minimal pesticide application are commonly used in the Chilembu region. And the last, water availability. The Chilembu region has adequate and well distributed rainfall throughout the year, which is essential for the growth and development of sweet potato.
Okay, thank you very much. Are there any question or comment?
Yes, I have, Sensei.
Please.
Okay, thank you. My name is Api Susanto. So based on your picture, this is very, very exciting. So my question, how far or how big of the plantation in Indonesia about this sweet potato of Chilembu? My question is based on the picture. Based on the picture, how big of the plantation of the Chilembu sweet potato in Indonesia? Do you understand?
Oh, so what is the chosen kind of sweet potato?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the plantation of the sweet potato of Chilembu in Indonesia, how big the area?
Oh, how big the area of
Yeah.
the Chilembu
Is
sweet
that
potato?
only in Bandung or only in Garut or only what? I don't know exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Actually, Chilembu sweet potato registered as geographical indication. That means that Chilembu sweet potato just can be planted in the certain area, and the certain areas are the fourth subregency. They are Sukasari, Tanjung Sari, Pemulihan, and Rancakalong. You can see the red point at the map. Yeah, just this area, Mr. Susanto. So, what we call it? How if we plant the same accessions or the same kind of potato, the same varieties in the other areas? Let's say in Jakarta, can we call that sweet potato as Chilembu sweet potato? Not. We just can call Chilembu sweet potato if the sweet potato planted at the this geographical indication area. Maybe that's all. Is it answer your question?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And I think time is over. So let's move to the.
Hello.
Pardon?
There's one question from Indah
Oh.
Apriali.
Okay, please.
Thank you for. My question is: does the research that has been carried out also also minimize the result of the change in the composition of the starch and total sugar in the sweet potatoes, because as we know, there are changes in the composition of the sweet potatoes that has been harvested due to the storage period after harvesting.
Do you ask about how about the composition about sweet potato after harvesting? Okay, thank you, Miss Indah, for your interesting question. Maybe my friends can help me to answer the question, but actually my bachelor research is about purple fleshed sweet potato, and I did some observation about the composition. Actually, the total soluble solid, and bricks, using bricks matter. And yep, that's true. The total soluble solid from the first day after harvesting until the 10 days after harvesting are changed. So maybe we have to do some strategies to what is that, like, sell the sweet potato quickly, because the composition will change if we wait until like 1 month or 2 months. It will change. And maybe my friends, can you help me to add some suggestions about this question? Okay, maybe that's all from us. Do you have any feedback, Miss Indah?
Okay, mungkin that's enough. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Indah, the composition of quality of sweet potato can change during the storage period after harvesting. Usually starch and sugar. Yeah, after harvest, the starch in sweet potato begin to convert to sugar. There are the action of enzyme, and then this results in an increase in the sweetness and change the texture as the sweet potatoes become softer and more moist. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So are there any question or comment? Okay, if no, let's move to the next presentation. Thank you very much, Unpad Group.
Thank you, Professor.
Okay, next presentation is given by KGU Group 1. The title of their talk is the Saraike Wetland Biodiversity and Prevent Deforestation. Okay, if you are ready, please start.
Hello, everyone. It's an honor to be here sharing our group's ideas with you today. First, let me introduce our group. Ayano Koloki, Karen Ogata, Akatsuki Ito, and myself, Yuting T. So first of all, what is wetland? The so-called moist plain is defined from the standpoint of vegetology, as the moist plain refers to the area where the moist plain vegetation is developed. Simply put, wetland are natural grassland that grow in excessively wet, poor areas. More specifically, it is an natural grassland where the water level is near the surface. But because the water quality is poor, large plants such as trees cannot grow, and the growth of plants is unique in wetlands. For example, sunwort and water moss are characterized in wetlands. Next. The Selaike Whiteline is located in Sanda Hyogo Prefecture, Japan. Please look at the map. We can see exactly where the Selaike Whiteline is. This white line is an important part of plants, and the plants are growing thickly there. Next. The Selaike white line it has a group of 8 white lines. Among them, the white line in the photo is the most accessible, and the area is also the largest among the wetland. So you can feel the charm of the white line is the dish. It can be said that it is the face of the wet dish. Especially the central part of the forest is significantly in several conditions. So vegetation management is an urgent issue. The wetland is full of species that can be seen only there. Next. In order to maintain the biodiversity of the regions, the protection of the wetland is very important. Next. The Selaike wetland is full of species that can be seen only there. It is a very important place for the conservation of biodiversity. And at the same time, the beautiful landscape composed of lovely flowers and insects, as well as green and water, brings us cultural benefits and brings peace and nourishment to our lives. In order to preserve the biodiversity of the Selaike wetland and inherit that benefits in the future, it is indispensable to actively migrate the discarded vegetations. For example, we should learn from the use of forest in the past and conduct the total felling of trees in and around the wetland and the thinning of the forest in the wetland. Next.
Now, we would like to talk about the Selaike wetland. The Selaike wetland is located in Sanda City, Hyogo Prefecture, and it has 10 wetlands. Next, please. The blue area is wetlands. The red area is the biggest wetland in Selaike wetlands. This name is the wetland A. We visited there twice in late April and early May and experienced care about this wetland. We went there with Moribito in Sanda City. Moribito is a group formed by local people. They visited Selaike wetland once a month and do a lot of activities to maintain its conditions. The Selaike wetland has a lot of rare species. Currently, there are 64 rare species that have been identified. Most wetlands in Japan have only 1 or 2 rare species, so the Selaike wetland is a special species in Japan. For example, rare species are Nepa hoffmanni and scaled dwarf. Nepa hoffmanni is an aquatic life, but they cannot swim in water. And scarlet dwarf is a dragonfly. They are the smallest dragonfly in Japan. Those species are in danger of extinction and designated as a highest level endangered species according to the Hyogo Prefecture data book. They can be seen only in these wetlands. The Salagi wetland has two serious problems. First, the number of their species is decreasing. These days, as the urbanization progress, changing in the environment become significant. Those their species can live only in limited places. Second, biodiversity of species is collapsing. The environment is made up of the relationship between eating and being eaten by living things. This is called ecosystem, as you know well. If the number of any of living things changes suddenly, the ecosystem changes and loses its balance. Some people may say, if we want to keep wetland ecosystems, we should leave it as it is without taking care of it. But this is a bad idea because we then would lose the entire wetland eventually. We must take care about Salagi wetlands. Why must we care about wetlands? The reason for this is protect the ecosystem of the Salagi wetlands. Different plants have different requirements. Some plants prefer bright places, while others prefer dark places. Plants that prefer bright places grow in search of light, but if there is not enough light, these plants will eventually die. Furthermore, if plants that grow in dark places spread over, then plants that prefer brightness will die out. This is called a climax forest. If these conditions occur, the number of plants and animals will decrease. It would also cause the moorland to die out as forests start retaining water. We must therefore work to conserve forests by cutting down forestry, even if they are rare species.
Missing voice. Next, we would like to talk about the major problem associated with the conservation of wetland. Then we suggest a solution. First, we need to know about vegetation succession. Natural plant life changes as time passes by, from pond to swamp, and from wetland to forest. It is called vegetation succession. Around the Salagi wetland, there are forests that were once used and managed for firewood and charcoal by local people. However, today, no people use the forest for such purpose. As plants are no longer regularly cut down, the trees have grown larger. At the damp surface of the forest, we can see about 40 plants called Osmundastrum hinaume var fokeiense. They are often found at relatively high altitudes and said to be relict species from the Ice Age. However, we can't find wetlands in places where plants grow. It is thought wetlands have disappeared due to the growth of neglected forests, and only the plants remain. The growth of neglected forest affects not only the wetland, but also the biodiversity of species. living in that area. The more forest grows, the less sunlight it gets, and rare species will decrease in number or may go extinct. Therefore, in order to preserve the forest, what we can do is cut down trees. We actually cut down some trees, but it is not deforestation. We cut down only tall trees and may low-growing trees get sufficient sunlight. After the activity, we used cut trees as bionest, a compost pile. Not only that, as an example of smarter and more effective use of them, Salaike's staff treated us with tea made from tree. To think about another interesting use of trees becomes a new task. Through the experience of cutting trees, we learned that wetlands are very delicate, and to make nature sustainable, we don't let them heal on its own, but rather should act on preserving wetlands.
Now we are moving on to current issues on the Saraike wetland because this wetland is drying up. Then we introduce some solutions we experienced. We conducted Saraike conservation activities in wetland A. It is the largest marsh in Saraike. Look at this picture. You can see that there are yellow-green areas and brown areas. This brown area is where the wetland has dried out. You can see categorizes B and C on the slide. They are categorized according to the Hyogo Prefecture Red Data Book. Red Data Book is a list of species that are endangered and require urgent conservation. Rank A means very close to extinction, and B is less close, and C is much less close to extinction. For example, the Pogonia japonica classified as category C, and Pecterius radiata ranked as category B. These plants are variable. However, if the area of the wetland continues to dry out and become smaller, the habitat for these plants will become smaller. The problem is the water is concentrated in the area, and it is becoming like a river. When a river is formed, the water does not spread around, and so it flows just down its streams. Therefore, the wetland outside of the river is drying up. Next. As a solution, we try to stop the flow of water. First, we dug holes in the dry areas and dug up stones. Next, the stones were piled up in the position to stop the flow of water. At this point, we divided the work into two groups. One group was collecting the stones, and another group was piling them. By doing this way, we could reduce the number of trips back and forth between the dry areas and river areas. We also could limit the number of works on the path to once. This prevents variable plants and creatures on the path from being trampled. As you can see, there are Pogonia japonica that had not yet flowered. Next. Please take a look at these pictures. This is how the activities was conducted. We dug out the stones and broke the floor of water, and the goal was to let the river water overflow and spread over the entire areas like this. It was difficult to get the waters to spread as much as we wanted to because of the slopes in this location. We carefully considered where to place stones and trees to hold back the water. Next. Let us summarize what we have discussed. The wetland is drying out because the flow of water has changed. The solution is to stop the flow of water and allow it to spread around. We dug out stones from the dry areas and held back the flow of water. We learned that although it is often thought that it is better to leave nature untouched, actually, if we let nature take its course, we will lose the rich diversity of the wetlands. Next. We experienced two activities to protect the wetlands where rare species exist. Through the activities of tree thinning and stopping the flow of water, we learn about richness of the diversity and the needs to be protected. We also learn the importance of caring nature. If humans do not care of nature, shade trees will grow and diversity will disappear, and river will be formed and the wetland area will become smaller. To achieve the fifth global goals, life on land, it is important that we have the right knowledge and take action to protect nature. That's all. Thank you for listening.
Okay, thank you very much, KGU Group 1. Now, the paper is open for discussion. Are there any question or comment?
I have one, Professor.
Please.
Okay, thank you for your amazing presentation. My question is, you said that we can handle wetland with vegetation succession. Is that right? And my question is, what kind of vegetation should be used in order to vegetation succession? Because I think maybe not all type of plants can survive in the wetland. Is there any specific kind of vegetation for vegetation succession? That's my question. Thank you.
The question is types of plants process of vegetation succession.
Yeah, type of plants for vegetation succession. That's my question.
For the vegetation, early form of vegetation succession, in the phase, there is a pond and in the face, low growing grass or trees mainly grows. And next, second phase, swamp fall. In yes, second second phase, and there is a swamp. Second, swamp form in the phase. Low growing trees. The number of low growing trees decreased, and tall trees grows. Vegetation succession third phase. In the phase, there forest, low growing trees or grass disappeared, and only tall trees remain.
Thank
I'm
you.
afraid.
You are so good. Thank you.
Yeah, but your question is which type of the plants are protected by this operation? Is it right?
Yeah, that's
So he explains the process of the how the wetland is disappear. But during the process, the grass-like plants, which is specific to the wetland, is the growth of such plants are inhibited by the tall trees due to the because such a tall tree hides the sunlight. Therefore, they cut the tree and giving the sunlight to the grass-like plants specific for the wetland. So they protect the plants which is specific to the wetland.
okay. Thank you for your explanation, Robert.
So are there any question or comment?
Oh, yes, I am professor.
Please.
Okay, so everyone, I'm Yunita from Sugeng Hartono University. Actually, my question is still related to vegetable succession too. Yeah. Okay. So my first question is actually how long does it take usually to take this transformation from wetland into forest? As I can see from the picture, in the middle picture, it also requires like the drying process of the land. So how long does it take? And then the second, what factor could be the biggest challenge of this transformation? Yeah, that's my questions. Arigato, thank you.
Okay, KG Group 1, can you understand the questions? So the first question is how long does it take from the wetland to the ordinary forest?
Yes.
For your question, about 100 years to 200 years, by the define the year because they have a first step is first step can have a 3 is it costs a shorter time, but they cannot be at not a 3 is it costs it should have cost a long time. So the making time is different. My answer is clear.
Yeah, yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
And answer the second question.
What factor could be the biggest challenge for this transformation that can influence the transformation process, like interrupting, for example, the transformation process that can make it, taking a longer time to transform into forest, for example, like that, Sensei.
So can you understand the question?
Is it like a natural or weather challenges or natural, factors that can affect this transformation?
Okay. What the reason of and the problems of a transition. So in the Salike wetland, there are many kinds of plants and there are many kinds of precious plants and insects. However, if vegetation succession proceed, the precious species may go extinct.
Oh, I see.
So we preserve current environment.
Okay.
Not to proceed vegetation succession.
Okay, so the downside or the negative side of this transformation is also actually to the extinction of the, for example, like the animals there and also some of the natural habitats there. Okay, that's very interesting. Thank you. Thank you for the answer. It's very interesting.
Okay, thank you very much. And are there any question or comment?
Yes, I have a simple question. Did you find dominant fauna in your observation, and what kind? So this is the question. Thank you. Yes. So that's one. Yeah.
So dominant fauna, you mean dominant fauna, the current status, current situation?
Okay, it's okay. Dominant fauna or dominant animal, something like that. And why is dominant, something like that.
Okay. So so he's asking that abundant plants or abundant animals in the wetland, Saraki wetland.
And that we found during the activity in the Saraki wetland, we found such species never for money. Never for money and scarlet dwarf.
So the dominant species different from season to season. I think current
know.
season, the scarlet dwarf is dominant. And
Okay.
Could you please show the white flowers? White flowers you showed. Ask them to show the currently dominant flowers. Yeah, this one. So the right one.
So
Yeah, right one.
okay.
So
The red one, the
eaglet
left one.
flower is white one. White one is currently dominant in the Saraki wetland. But the dominant species changed according to the seasons.
Season. Okay. Thank you, Sensei. Thank you. Arigato gozaimashita.
Thank you. And are there any question or comment? Okay, if no, let's take a break. And before the break, Bivin Sensei, could you give an announcement? Let's take a break.
So I
but,
think we already it was already more than 12. So it means that we will start maybe around 2.
Yeah. So
I think 2 o'clock.
Yeah, 2 o'clock. Yes.
Yeah, I think until 2 o'clock. Yeah. Even though because now
so
it's
it is Japanese
already
time.
1:10. So it's mean we just have 50 minutes. So because we are very strict with the time schedule, so I think it's better we follow the schedule for Undip group next 2 o'clock. So in Undip's time, maybe it's around 12 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah, is it clear? I think so. I'm very sorry that the break time is very short, just 50 minutes. I think that's all my announcement.
Okay, so then let's take a break. Yeah. Bivin Sensei, is it okay?
Okay.
Okay, let's start the afternoon session. The first group of the afternoon session is Undip's group. And the title of their talk is Seaweed Cultivation, a Prospective Business and its Sustainability. Okay, so Undip group, if we are ready, please start.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dia Erika from Marine Science, Diponegoro University, and then my friends.
My name is Nisa. I'm from Marine Science Undip.
Okay, please, next slide. Yeah, we know as our planet faces increasing environmental challenge, the ocean emerges as a potential treasure trove of sustainable solutions. Our oceans hold immense potential, and seaweed cultivation stands as a testament to that. It's more than just a farming; it's a blueprint for a healthier planet and a thriving economy. These resilient marine plants hold the key to a sustainable future. Seaweed cultivation present a promising and sustainable avenue for economic growth and environmental stewardship. Seaweed cultivation is an emerging sector of food production that offers a multitude of benefits from climate change mitigation to economic stimulation. As a marine plant, seaweed offers a multitude of benefits from carbon sequestration to habitat provision. It's unlike terrestrial agriculture, seaweed farming requires minimal freshwater, fertilizer, or pesticides, making it an environmentally friendly option. Moreover, it can be integrated into existing coastal communities, providing alternative livelihoods for those dependents on fishing or maybe agriculture. Next slide, please. Seaweed cultivation, or as known as seaweed farming, involves cultivating and harvesting seaweed for various purposes. Several methods have been developed to suit different seaweed species, environmental conditions, and economic scales. There are so many methods, but commonly used there are three methods. There are off-bottom cultures, bottom cultures, and integrated multi-trophic aquacultures. The off-bottom cultures involve suspending seaweed that can use on lines or maybe nets in the water column, and it prevents seaweed from being buried in sediment, and it can enhance water circulation for optimal growth. And this method include maybe long line culture, raft culture, or maybe cage culture. And bottom culture is different with the off-bottom culture, because bottom culture is attached to the seabed or intertidal zone. It can suitable for species that naturally attach to sediments such as rocks or maybe other substrates. It requires site selections with appropriate bottom conditions. And the last is integrated multi-trophic agriculture, or IMTA. These methods combine seaweed cultivation with other aquaculture species like fish or shellfish. This method can improve water quality by removing nutrients from the water. It can create a more sustainable and efficient farming systems. Okay. And for the method, cultivation methods, there involves a methodical approach that encompasses several crucial stages. There are preparations, seedling, and harvesting. The first step, preparation, is identifying a suitable location for the seaweed farm, and factors such as water quality, depth, temperature, and wave are really a crucial considerations. And once a site is selected, it's essential to prepare the area by clearing it of the birds and ensuring proper anchoring for cultivation structures. And then seedling. This involves cultivation microscopic seaweed spores into young plants, which are attached to cultivation lines or structures. And then once the seaweed reach maturity, it's time for harvesting. Harvest the seaweed. These methods vary depending on the seaweed species and cultivation systems. Harvesting, manual harvesting or mechanical harvesting, or maybe combination of both can be used. And by following these three crucial steps and adopting sustainable practices, a seaweed cultivation can become a profitable and environmentally friendly enterprise. Next slide. As we can see here, the potential of seaweed as a food industry or biofuel, as biodegradable materials, or maybe pharmaceutical and beauty. The potential of seaweed as a raw material is really vast. It finds application in various industries, including like food, cosmetic, pharmaceuticals, and biofuel. And this versatility creates a robust market for seaweed products. It can driving economic growth and job creations. However, to fully realize the potential of seaweed cultivations, it is essential to address challenges such as climate change, pollution, and market volatility. By fostering collaboration between the government, the industry, and research institution, we can create a sustainable and thriving seaweed industry. And investing in seaweed cultivation is an investment in our oceans and our future. It is a pathway towards a more sustainable and equitable world. Please, next slide. Okay. Seaweed as a marine algae is gaining recognition as a nutritional powerhouse, packed with essential like vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. It offers a range of health benefits. But seaweed often overlooked as culinary ingredients. As culinary ingredients is increasingly recognized as the treasure trove of bioactive compounds with significant pharmaceutical potentials. And this marine algae have evolved unique adaptations to thrive in harsh environment, resulting in the productions of a diverse array of molecules with potent biological properties. Okay, next slide. Seaweed cultivation often heralded as sustainable blue economy ventures offers a multitude of environmental and economic benefits like carbon sequestrations, and it can improve the water quality, or it can enhance in biodiversity and can be used as protection in coastal area. Seaweed can absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, and it can help to mitigate the climate changes. Also, seaweed can help to filtering the pollutants from the water, and it can improving overall the water quality. Then, as a biodiversity enhancements, seaweed farms can provide the habitats for a marine life, and it can increasing the biodiversity. So, as the coastal protections, seaweed farms can help protect coastlines from the erosions. Okay, next slide, please. Seaweed also has a role in climate mitigations. Seaweed often overlooked is emerging as a potentially in the fight against climate changes. Its role in carbon sequestrations, like I have mentioned before, and its potential application in various industries make it promising solutions. Seaweed also can act as a natural biofilter and effectively removing pollutants from water bodies. Its complex structures provides a surface area and microorganisms to colonize, which can break down the contaminants as well. And in addition to biofiltration, seaweed can also be used as a bioextractor to recover valuable research for the wastewater. And the last is seaweed can protect the coastal areas by reducing waves that can make erosions. Next, please. Okay. Let's take a look at these pictures. It is the picture that describe seaweed as a carbon sink, because one of the most significant contributions of seaweed to climate mitigation is its ability to sequester carbon. through the photosynthesis, seaweed absorbs carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and incorporates it into its biomass. And a portion of this carbon is stored in the seaweed itself, while the rest is released back into the oceans when the seaweed decomposes. However, under specific conditions, some of this carbon can be buried in sediments, is effectively removing it from the atmosphere for extended periods. Next slide. Seaweed also has big economic benefits. Seaweed cultivation offers a promising avenue for economic growth and development, particularly in coastal regions. Its versatility and sustainability make it an attractive option for businesses. Seaweed farming can create jobs across various stages, from cultivations and harvesting to processing and its distributions. Seaweed also are valuable ingredients in various food products, including maybe like sushi, salads, or many other supplements. Seaweed seaweed extracts are can use in skincare, hair care, and pharmaceutical products. While seaweed cultivations offer significant economic benefits, challenges such as market volatility, technological advancements, and policy supports need to be addressed. However, with careful planning and investment, seaweed farming can become a thriving and sustainable industry. Like we can see in these graphics that the global commercial seaweed market size account for 12.55 billion US dollar in 2024, and it's expected to reach more at around 15.8 billion US dollar by 2033, and it's expanding at the CAGR of 2.7% from 2024 to 2033. I think we've explored the vast potentials of seaweed cultivation, from its role as an environmental champion to its economic promises. And it's clear that seaweed is more than just a marine plant, it's a catalyst for innovations and sustainability. As we move forward, let's harness the power of these ocean's treasures to create a healthier planet and a more prosperous future. Okay, I think that's all from the presentations. Maybe there are some questions, and say thank you so much.
Thank you very much. So the paper is open for discussion. Are there any question or comment? Okay, so I have one question, just from my interest. So you mentioned about the application of the seaweed for the medicine. So Indonesian people have a ethnomedicine called jamu. So my question is, are there any jamu which uses seaweed?
Okay, hello. I'm sorry, there's some trouble with my microphone.
Yeah, okay.
As I know, I haven't heard before specific information about the seaweed jamu being commercially available in Indonesia as well. But it's maybe possible that it can exist, but I haven't heard before that jamu that seaweed can be extract as jamu.
There's
And
question, I said from in the chat. From Surya Aditya.
okay, so are there any question or comment?
There's a question from Surya Aditya in the chatting.
Please.
Yeah, yes, yes. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, but the questions, does seaweed potentially contains microplastics? Yes, seaweed can potentially contain microplastic, but there's a little about the sorry. Okay, seaweed can potentially contain microplastic due to maybe the pervasive nature of plastic pollution in our oceans. Seaweed as a marine organism, it can accumulate microplastic on its surface and possibly within its tissue. Maybe there's any other, maybe my friends can answer. Yeah, okay, seaweed is seaweed biofuel potential as a sustainable energy? Yes, it can be, because yeah, maybe seaweed is increasingly being explored as a potential game changer in the biofuel industry. Its high sugar content and ability to thrive in vast oceans make it a compelling alternative to land-based biofuels, because yeah, seaweed also can extract it with some method to be as a biofuel. Okay, maybe my friends can help me to answer.
Okay, Dea. Sensei, sorry, I will what you call it, add some information. So the first is about the seaweed as the potential for biofuel. I have already observed or make experience around 10 years ago, more than 10 years ago. Okay, from Karaginan, then break out to become bioethanol. It's not easy. Yeah, it's not easy because we have to use what you call it, exit. So not too easy, because the carrageenan contain the polysaccharide, poly, not mono, not like amylum or something like that. That's why it's difficult. So what you call it, an economic aspect is not yet success. This is the first. And the second is about your question, Sensei. Seaweed as jamu in Indonesian, as the traditional what you call it, drink or something like that. As far I know, seaweed is not yet popular to become what you call it, make material with jamu. Yeah. But some people in Jepara city, north of the Java Island, near from Semarang, they have already eat kaulerpa. In traditional name is latoh. They have already as a salad. And yeah, that's good for health, but not yet in national area, something like that. So depend on the area. Something like in Bali, Nusa Dua. Some people eat gracilaria as salad also. When I was there, make experience, I got the information about that, and I have already tried it to eat. It's delicious. Something like that, Tao Sensei.
Yeah, thank you very much, Professor Besanto. Okay, are there any question or comment? Okay, if no, let's move to the next session. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Okay, next presentation is given by the Unsoed group, and the title of their talk is Preserving the Ocean's Guardians, Sea Turtle Diversity and Conservation Efforts in Indonesia with a focus on Kariratu Beach, Kebumen. Okay, if we are ready, please start.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. We are from Jenderal Sudirman University. It is an honor to have you all here today as we gather to discuss and share knowledge in this occasion. Today, we will talking about turtle conservation efforts. Our presentation entitled Preserving the Ocean's Gardens, Sea Turtle Diversity and Conservation Efforts in Indonesia with a focus on Kariratu Beach, Kebumen. Before we begin our presentation, let me introduce our members. Wait, I'm sorry. Our group consists of 6 people. They are Kenesia Paulina Alphonse, Konsa Takia, Pariska Anggriani, Aristidia Florencia, Lutfia Septi Anggriani, and me, Hoirunisa Fadila Fajar Arum. For the first topic, I will pass to Fariska. Fariska.
Okay. Sea turtles are marine biota that have inhabited the earth for more than 100 million years. They play a crucial role in maintaining the balance of global marine ecosystem. Case studies from various parts of the world reveal that sea turtle population face serious threats due to various anthropogenic factors, including overfishing, habitat degradation, and marine pollution. Indonesia, as the world's largest archipelagic country, serves as a habitat for 6 out of the 7 existing sea turtle species, making it a significant location in global conservation efforts.
Okay, and the next.
Okay, now I would like to explain about the turtle conservation efforts. So in general, turtle conservation is a crucial effort aimed at protecting and preserving turtle species, which many of it are endangered. So this process involves a series of strategic steps to ensure that turtles can safely reproduce, grow, return to the wild. And the importance of the turtle conservation is helps maintain biodiversity and the health of the marine ecosystem. So the first step is the turtle nesting. Usually, turtles lay their eggs when the tide is high. So the mother turtle swims to the sandy beach and completes several steps. First, they crawling to find a suitable spot and making a body hole. After that, they digging a nest hole to laying their eggs. Then, they sealing the nest hole and closing the body hole, also compacting the sand around the hole. Last, they will take a rest and camouflaging the nest to avoid from the predators before returning to the sea. And the second step is the turtle egg rescue and relocation. So this involves several actions. The paths where turtles come ashore are monitored and to ensure nesting activities and detect landing locations. So rescue actions are conducted every night between 7 p.m. until 5 a.m. by surveying the beach for the turtle eggs. And the eggs are collected and transported to the semi-natural hatching nests to protect them from the predators. And semi-natural nests are created at a depth of around 37 until 38 centimeters. So the eggs are gently placed into the semi-natural hatching nests one by one and then covered with the sand. And the nests are marked with essential information, and the details of it are recorded. And the next step is incubation period. Yes, the slide. Okay, so turtle eggs are incubated for approximately 50 until 60 days. So during this period, the embryos develop inside the eggs. And the next, hatching process. After the incubation period, the hatchlings break out the eggshells using the beak at the tip of their upper jaw. So after that, they become active and try to leave the nest by breaking through the sand to reach the surface of the sand. And then hatching process. After, sorry, I mean the next slide. Okay, so hatchling preservation. This involves activities such as cleaning the place of the hatchling, maintaining water quality, feeding the hatchling, and also collecting data on their development. And the last step is hatchling release. So once the hatchlings are strong enough to withstand the water current, specifically the ocean wave, and when they have ability to avoid predators, they are ready to be released. So this activities is usually conducted at night between 7 p.m. and 5:30 a.m. in order to avoid from the predators. So that was the process of the turtle conservation in general. And maybe we can move on to the next subtopic that will be explained by Adisti. So for Adisti, time is yours.
All right, thank you, Pia. So I will introduce to you Kaliratu conservations. So since our focus in this turtles conservation will be on understanding the Kaliratu conservation, and it's located in Kebumen, Central Java, Indonesia. And this site is close to other natural spots such as Muara Bedahan and the Kalibuntu Recreational Area. The Kaliratu Conservation is about 3 kilometers away from the coastal area of Petanhan, also known for its village tourism. So it can be found along the South Coast Road connecting to Cilacap and Yogyakarta, so making it easily accessible for visitors traveling through the regions. Also, the facilities available at the Kaliratu Conservation Site, including a turtle egg hatching and a small research laboratory, also observation and management area for newly hatched turtles. So now that I've introduced Kaliratu Conservation locations, so let's delve into the main program conservation at Kaliratu. So maybe we can move to the next slide, please. So for the conservation programs at Kaliratu, there are two mainly programs in these conservations. The first main program in these Kaliratu conservations are hatching and release program. These conservation programs at Kaliratu focus on the hatching and release turtles into the wild. So these programs involve collecting turtle eggs from nearby sites, also incubating the eggs in the safe locations, and observing, also researching development of young turtles. So once the turtles hatch, they are released back into the wild to support population growth. And the second main program in this Kaliratu conservations are educational and awareness initiative. So actually there are other facilities in Kaliratu conservation site that may include the educational space for visitors and school groups. So visitors and school groups are frequently participate in educational tours to the conservation site. In addition to hatching and releasing turtles, the conservation programs include educational and awareness activities for the local community and visitors. This initiative actually aimed to promote environmental awareness and support for turtle conservation efforts through workshops, school visits, and informational sessions. So with an overview of the conservation programs, this is the analysis was that highlighting enshrined weakness, opportunities, and threats. So to assess the effectiveness, we do the SWOT analysis for the strength of these Kaliratu conservations.
Kaliratu's conservation is near to the seaside. Kaliratu is both a well-organized hatching area and is actually conveniently located along the seaside, so providing a natural and conducive environment for turtle conservations. Traditionally, the site has adequate facilities for egg hatching, ensuring the successful incubations, and also release young turtles into the wild. Meanwhile, for the weaknesses of these Kaliratu conservations, despite its range, some conservation areas are actually poorly organized, which can hinder the effectiveness of conservation effort. Furthermore, the conservation space is insufficient to accommodate the growing number of turtles, and the narrow road leading to the side posts are challenges for accessibility. Meanwhile, for the opportunities of these Kaliratu conservations, there are significant improvement at Kaliratu conservations, like by enhancing the road to the conservations, will facilitate easier access for visitors and researchers. Also, by expanding the conservation area and organizing the turtle pools more efficiently will improve the overall success of the conservation program. And last, for the threats of Kaliratu conservations, one of the primary threats to Kaliratu conservation is the presence of other conservation sites that are better equipped and more adequate. So now that we've covered the SWOT analysis and understood the key factor affecting our conservation effort, so maybe we can proceed to further explore off topic. Now I'll hand it over to Dila, who will guide us through the next sessions. Dila, time is yours. We can move to the next slide, please.
Okay, thank you, Disti. And the next is the threats of sea turtle population. The life of sea turtles is currently endangered due to disturbances from their habitat environment and humans. The threat to the life of sea turtle is in the high seas is being hit by rocks that can cause injury to the turtle's body and cause death. The threat of death from predators such as monitor lizards and crabs when the turtle is just hatching in its habitat. In addition, the main factor causing the decline in the number of sea turtle species occurs due to human actions, such as poaching carried out by local people or outsiders who came to this place, not only taking the animal, but also taking its eggs either for consumption or trading back for the duration of great economic benefits. And another factor that disturbs sea turtle population is pollution, whether it is marine pollution caused by human overexploitation, drastic changes in sea temperature due to global warming destruction of their natural habitat. And the next is handling efforts we can do. Overcoming these threats requires comprehensive efforts and involve various parties from the government, communities, to conservation organizations. Here are some of the efforts that can be made. And number one, pollution reduction, such as plastic reduction campaign to raise public awareness about the dangers of plastic waste and encourage the use of environmentally friendly alternatives. And number two, education and socialization. There we can do environmental education to integrate environmental and about sea turtle in the school curriculum. And the number three, law enforcement to give effective penalties, strictly enforce the law against perpetrators of poaching and illegal wildlife trade. And the last, research and monitoring to conduct regular monitoring of sea turtle population to determine population trends. And the next.
Okay, thank you. And I would like to explain about how does conservation correlate with sustainable development goals. Okay, of the 17 goals, sea turtle conservation activities correlate with SDG number 12, or responsible consumption and protection, SDG number 14, life below water, and SDG number 15, life on the land. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, for the first is Sustainable Development Goals number 12, or responsible consumption and production. This SDG emphasizes sustainable resource use and waste reduction. Responsible consumption reduces plastic pollution. Sea turtles often mistake plastic bag for jellyfish, leading to ingestion and harm. Proper waste management prevents plastic from reaching the ocean, benefiting both marine life and sea turtles. The second is SDG number 14, or Life Below Water. This SDG focuses on protect and ensure the sustainability of ocean, seas, and marine resources. It aims to reduce pollution, acidification, and overexploitation while conserving marine ecosystem. Sea turtles play a crucial role in marine ecosystem. They help maintain healthy of seekers' bed, control jellyfish population, and transport nutrients across ocean habitats. So achieving Sustainable Development Goals number 14 is essential for sea turtle conservation because healthy ocean directly impact their survival. And the last is SDG number 15, or Life on Land. This SDG primarily addresses to terrestrial ecosystem. It indirectly affects sea turtles, like coastal habitat, where sea turtle needs and feed are influenced by land-based activities. Deforestation, pollution, and habitat destruction impact these areas. Protecting coastal forests, mangrove, and other terrestrial ecosystems contributes to sea turtle conservation. In summary, achieving Sustainable Development Goals number 12, 14, and 15 collectively contributes to sea turtle conservation. By safeguarding marine and terrestrial environments, we can ensure a healthier planet for these remarkable creatures.
Okay, now I will read the conclusion, but before that, let me say sorry because I cannot using the virtual background. Okay. The conclusion is the Kaliratu conservation in Java, it's making commendable strides in sea turtle conservation through its comprehensive approach, nesting technique, rescue and location, and incubation and hatchling release. Despite its strategic location and well-established facilities, the conservation outcomes, it is crucial to address this weakness and threats by improving site facilities, expanding the conservation area, and strengthening road access while leveraging opportunities for international cooperation and community engagement.
Okay. By implementing and supporting these conservation steps, we can make a significant difference in the survival of turtle population and the health of our marine ecosystem. Thank you for your attention throughout this presentation.
Okay, thank you very much for the interesting talk. So now the paper is open for discussion. Are there any question or comment? Okay, so I have one question. So the hatchling release is done in night. So from 7 p.m. to 5 a.m. I think it is for the protection from the bird predatory. Is it right?
Okay, thank you for the question, sir. I would like to answer. So as far as I know, based on my literature that I read, so yeah, for the hatchling release is usually conducted at night between those times. So yeah, in order to avoid predators. Okay.
Yeah. So the why the time is selected? Night time is selected for the release.
Maybe at night is usually dark at the ocean, so predators can see the hatchling because the hatchling is so small, so they can release freely into the ocean without any disturbance from other species.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you very much. So are there any question or comment?
My question,
please.
When the hatching release, yeah, if there's no human interfere, how many % that they can reach to the sea, from the beach to the sea? I think if there's human interfere, maybe 100% they hatch, and then human help control maybe if there is some predator. But if there's no human interfere, so they can survive directly 100% from the beach to the sea.
Okay, thank you for the question, but please excuse us discuss with the team first, because we haven't got any information about those questions. Okay, thank you.
So are there any question or comment? Okay, if no, let's move to the next presentation. Thank you very much, Unsoed group.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. The next presentation is given by Unsika group, and the title of their presentation is Coastal and Paddy Field Ecosystem in Karawang Industrial City. So if you're ready, please start.
Karawang, the rising star of West Java. Karawang is an area located in the northern part of Java Island. Karawang was once known as a rice-born city where vast expanses of green rice fields spread and made the city with the largest rice production. But now, Karawang is better known as an industrial city. Many factories of world-famous products are located in the industrial area in Karawang, such as the Honda Vehicle Factory and others. These two things are side by side, making Karawang a city with potential from West Java. Can you next? These are rice fields in Karawang, and there's also Tanjung Pakis Beach and Kaise Industrial Area and Sedari Mangrove Forest. Next. Karawang has an area of 1,911 kilometers square with a population of 2,519,882 people and a population density of 1,300 kilometers square. Karawang Regency is administratively bordered by Bekasi Regency and Bogor Regency to the west, the Java Sea to the north, Subang Regency to the east, Purwakarta Regency to the southeast, and Cianjur Regency to the south. Most of Karawang Regency is a relatively flat plain with an altitude of 0 to 1,200 meters above sea levels. Next. These are the three aspects of Karawang. Karawang can be said to have all aspects of nature. The expanse of the sea stretches in the northernmost part of Karawang with its charms, such as the mangrove forest on the coast, which is a habitat for various organisms. The lowlands in the form of expansive rice fields green the hue of the city, making Karawang a rice-born city as well as an industrial area. Next. This is the current issues of agriculture. The first one is pest outbreaks. It can be caused by many factors, one of which is the continuous use of chemicals, such as pesticide. This causes pests to build resistance to these chemicals. The use of chemicals such as pesticides leave a danger in the form of residues that will remain in the soil. These residues can cause a decrease in the level of ecosystem health due to the loss of food security. Food security can be achieved if there is no contamination in the food. With the continuous use of pesticides, these conditions will not be met and make agricultural practices unsustainable. This decreased health in the soil can also lead to erosion, coupled with the lack of soil aggregates and tree roots as erosion barriers. Next. Tito alba, or commonly known as barn owl, is one of the efforts developed in Indonesia to reduce excessive use of pesticide in the fields. Tito alba is an effective and environmentally friendly biological control agent for rice field threats because of its nature as a predator. A Tito alba can consume as many as 3,000 rice field rats per year with a foraging capacity of 13 kilometers. Next. This is the artificial nest of Tito alba because Tito alba can make its own nest. Tito alba's natural habitat is on treetops or in the attics of people's houses. For that, making an artificial nest is necessary so that Tito alba finds comfort in one area. An artificial nest can be made using 4 wooden planks measuring 20 times 3 centimeters, 1 sheet of zinc, blackwood paint, waterproof coating paint, 1 2-inch knee PVC pipe, and nails. For the pole, 1 8 millimeters and 5 millimeters iron concrete is needed with a height of about 3.5 to 4 meters, 2 6-inch PVC pipes, 2 sacks of cement, and sand. Install the artificial nest 1 meters in the ground in a location that is rarely passed by humans. The design of this artificial nest, please next the The design of this artificial nest was officially issued by Indonesian Ministry of Agriculture. Tito alba is present if there's its faces on the artificial. Currently, there are 10 artificial nests in Batu Jaya district, where the area is close to the coast where the mangrove forest is located. Next speaker, please.
Okay. I'm going to talk about mangrove.
Mangrove as a natural shield plant, mangrove forests can be found in coastal areas to river estuaries. Mangrove forests minimizing land damage from impact of natural calamities by absorbing more carbon. This is why mangrove to be known as natural shield plant. Mangrove grow in different areas according to the character and properties of each type of mangrove. Like an open mangrove with high root that will face the sea waves directly, and behind it there is a middle mangrove. Next, the brackish mangrove are in the river to almost fresh water, followed by the mainland mangrove. Picture that you're seeing, many mangrove forests in coastal area are used as tourist attraction. This can trigger disruption of mangrove forest biota. This will decreasing mangrove forests. Despite their importance, mangrove are now facing high ecological pressure, and 1/3 of the total mangrove population has been lost globally in the past 50 years. Mangrove are freely distributed in 118 countries and trains, occupying a total area of 147,000 square kilometers of the world. Around 75% of the total mangrove population is concentrated in 15 countries, of which only 6.9% thrive in protected areas. The majority of mangrove exists in the Southeast Asian region. One of them is in Indonesia. The main loss was caused by pedophile, domestic and industrial dumping, oil spill, and poorly managed dredging for coastal or coastal development. This was discovered mangrove versus industry. The first is the development of coast tourist attraction. This caused many mangrove forests to be disturbed, like throwing rubbish carelessly. The second, on the coast of Karawang, there was a leak in the oil pipe from one of the large company ship in Indonesia, which passed through Karawang water until it reached the coast of Karawang. This caused 232,000 mangrove trees in coastal areas to be damaged. In addition to anthropogenic activities, the implication of climate change, such as soil erosion and storms, play a role in the loss of mangrove forests. Of the 431,590 hectares of mangrove, there are 3 main species in protecting Karawang, namely Avicanica marina, Rhizopora apiculata, and Rhizopora mucronata. Previously explained that mangrove have the ability to absorb more carbon. This why these 3 types product a very large total carbon stock on the Karawang coast due to the large area of mangrove ecosystem land. The respiratory root system and unique structure of coastal mangrove plant ensure maximum absorption of exhaust emission. According to research, the type of species that contribute most to carbon storage is the Rhizopora type. A part of that, Rhizopora has high adaptation to the aquatic environment, so it is easy to use as rehabilitating sheets.
Well, I will continue. Besides mangroves, there are several bioindicators that can be used to measure water quality, especially in coastal areas. Before that, it's important to know what is bioindicators. Bioindicator comes from 2 words. It is bio and indicator. Bio means living things such as animal, plants, and microbes, while indicator means a variable that can be used to evaluate the situation and allows measurement of change that occur over time. So bioindicator are biotic components or living things that can be used as indicator of environmental quality.
Naturally, occurring bioindicators can be used to assess environmental health and can be used as a tool to detect change in the environment, both positive and negative effects, which will affect the community. Bioindicators are divided into two types. It is passive bioindicators and active bioindicators. Passive bioindicators is a species of organism that comprise the native inhabitants of a habitat and is able to indicate measurable change in the changing environment of the biotype. And active bioindicator are species of organisms that have a high sensitivity to pollutants, which are generally introduced into a habitat to identify and provide early warning of pollutions. The types of bioindicators themselves can be classified into three groups. They are indicator species, monitoring species, and test species. The first is indicator species. The indicator species is the presence or absence of this biota indicates that change have occurred in the environment, has a low tolerance to environmental change, and if the number, distribution, and evidence are high, then the species is a positive indicator and convention. The second is monitoring species. Monitoring species used to indicate the presence of pollutants in the environment. Sensitive monitoring, which is highly susceptible to pollutants and is suitable for indicating environmental conditions with acute and chronic pollutants. Then there is accumulating monitoring, which is resistant species and can accumulate large amounts of pollutants into its issues without endangering its life. And the last is test species. Test species are species that are utilized to determine the effect of certain pollutants, making them suitable for toxicology studies. Based on their classification, bioindicators are also divided into three groups. They are animal indicators, plant indicators, and microbial indicators. Okay, next slide. The first is animal indicators. There are several animal indicators commonly used in the Karawang coastal area, including mudskipper, Hexapeltranculus, Penaeus monodon, and Scala serrata. Okay, the first is mudskipper. Mudskipper, also known as tembakul or glodokfish, lives in muddy areas and can crawl on land using its fangs. Mudskipper perches on mangrove roots with its unique fins, which bend like arms. Mudskipper has protruding eyes and pectoral fins with much less, allowing it to move on land. Mudskippers can breathe through their skin and gills, making them good indicators of changing environmental conditions. They eat detritus and small invertebrates, reflecting ecosystem health through the availability of food and habitat conditions. The second is Hexapeltranculus. Hexapeltranculus or muscuraceous snail is a gastropod species living in coastal and coral reef areas. Its strong shell and ability to drill into prey shells make it a good indicator of substrate quality and reef growth. As predators, the snails eat various invertebrates, reflecting the presence and health of their prey. The third is Penaeus monodon. Penaeus monodon, also known as trigger shrimp, is commonly found in estuaries and mangrove waters. Its bottom-dwelling lifestyle and adaptability to different salinity levels make it a good bioindicator. With its strong exoskeleton and large body, its height and size can reflect sediments and water quality. As an omnivorous predator, it feeds detritus and small organisms, indicating the productivity and health of the ecosystem. And the last is Scilla serrata. Scilla serrata, or mangrove crab, is crucial for the mangrove ecosystem. Its large body and hard shell help it withstand various conditions, but it also sensitive to pollutions. As predators and scavengers, these crabs eat a wide range of organic matter and small invertebrates, indicating the availability of food, the health of their habitat. Okay, next slide. And then are several other animal indicators that can also be used as bioindicators. They are Holoturia, Yolina choanax, Sepitotis lawsonia, and Nereis. Okay, next slide. The next is plant indicators. There are several plant indicators commonly used as bioindicator of the Karawang coastal area. They are Anthedon mediterranea, Echinometra mattei, and Asterias rubens. Okay, next slide. Okay, the last is microbial indicators. Similar to animal indicators, here are some microbes that can be utilized as an indicator of the Karawang coastal area.
They are Microtex aeruginosa, Pseudonetia, and Aspergillus remiginus. Okay, that's all from me. I'll return it to Leonie.
Thank you, Lintang. So I'm gonna read the conclusions. Cotton regency is an area with a lot of potential whose benefits can be developed. The use of Tito alba can, as a natural enemy in rice fields, and various species of flora and fauna in coastal areas, especially in mangrove forests, as an environmental bioindicator, can support the achievement of Sustainable Development Goals, or SDG. This is the end of our presentation. We would like to apologize for our shortcomings, and if there's any question, please raise your hand or kindly write the question in the chat section. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for the interesting talk, Unsika group. And the paper is open for discussion. Are there any question or comment?
From me.
Yep, please.
So because when I was still lecturing in IPB, I heard that there's kind of the big project, maybe 1990, about how to increase owl population. Yeah, just now you saw the owl population in order to to overcome about the problem from the pest, especially rat. So just now in the conclusion also you saw there's open area. So I think in my understanding, is it possible that a bit we can introduce to the farmer, we increase the shading. I think we make some plantation. Of course, the canopy is not so very big, but yeah, like we can select alfalfa, or maybe we always use for the fence, that it's also maybe useful for the livestock. Yeah, and then this kind of the tree, yeah, also good for the owl. And the other thing also, how about the snake? Yeah, I think snake also have some contribution as the predator of this kind of the rat. So maybe from university give some suggest, maybe we can select a kind of the snake that doesn't have venom, yeah, and then maybe doesn't have poison, but they can also to be predator. Do you have some information about this one? Or maybe some effort in the future, maybe you can have a plan. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you for the question. Let me repeat. You're asking if we can use a tree as a shade in the paddy fields. Is that so?
Yes. So therefore, because in the conclusion I saw the open area, so like that. I think so therefore you establish a kind of the artificial house, maybe, yeah, how to say this one. So you make you construct the special nest that construct by yourself, but I think we can make some introduce to the farmer setting about the tree that maybe doesn't have some negative effect to the paddy, because they will say that if they're setting they will the sun can be blocked by the shading. So but I think if we make some kind of the approach to them, I think we decrease we make some introduction of the tree. I think I don't know how to do this one, but I think we can make kind of the approach, maybe comparison study between one place that open area like this, and maybe some part of the alley already changed with the tree, like legume also, maybe, because legume also not only have some potential for livestock, for owl also, but also they will have some good for the paddy field also, I think, about the nutrition. So I think this is only my idea. What do you think about that one?
All right. So my understanding is that paddy needs fully absorb sunlight, so it doesn't need maybe if we plant a tree as a shade on the side of the rice fields, it's possible, but for in the middle of the rice fields, I don't think so, because it's gonna block the shade of the paddy and it's gonna disrupt the growth.
Yeah. Therefore, maybe we need a kind of the study to show the farmer about that one. I think in my understanding also, therefore why until now they do like this open area like this, of course, during the night, and also owl also have some kind of the problem in order to make the nest, and when they are going to hunt the rat, I think. And how about the what is it, snake? It is potential, or maybe farmer also, people don't want to see the snake because snake also a predator for the rat, I think.
I actually haven't heard about snake being conserved because it is more like a very reptile and kind of dangerous animals if we think about it enough. For the Tito alba, they widely conserved in every area in Indonesia. So I actually never heard about people conserve snakes as a predator or
Yeah.
natural animal.
Yeah, because I heard that there's kind of the snake without venom or without poison, I think, but they like to eat rat. Yeah, but okay, maybe that's all my question.
Thank you.
I also have a question about the artificial nest. So the just to set the artificial nest is enough for the owl to settle in the nest. Some additional efforts is not required for the owl to settle in the nest. Some other efforts means, for example, put the dead mouse in the nest or something like that.
So your question is it enough to use artificial nest as their nest
So
in the field?
just to set the artificial nest is enough for the owl to settle in the nest, or some additional effort is required?
No, the artificial nest is enough because previously the Tito alba is being conserved first by the farmers in a one area, like in a cage or something like a white cage, and they provide rats every day so they can train the owl to consume the rats, and they automatically go back to the artificial nest, and there is no need to put more efforts, like maybe another place for it to hang or something. No, it's just the artificial.
Are there any possibility that other kind of birds settle in the nest?
Sorry?
So are there any possibility that other kind of birds, not all, settle in the nest?
Other kinds of birds is possibly they infiltrate the nest, but it is not common because obviously the birds that are near the field threats are obviously just around commonly just birds field birds, because the smaller one.
Okay, thank you very much.
So my question, sorry, Ta Sensei. My question is simple.
Please.
How big is the mangrove area in the Karawang?
So you are asking the size of the scale of the mangrove area?
Yes. How many hectares or something like that?
Hello, Mr. Abe. I think it's okay if I answer your question.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, for the mangrove area in Karawang, it is one of the largest area in West Java. It is around 10,000 meters square for the area of mangroves, and also for each mangrove, the size of one mangrove, it can up to 2 to 3 meters in height. That's the additional data from me, Mr.
Okay. You said 10,000 hectare or 10,000 meters square.
Hectare, sorry. 10,000 hectares. Sorry.
Okay, thank you. Arigato, Sensei.
Okay, so are there any question or comment?
So my question again, because I'm curious with the progress of owl. Yeah, because long ago I work in the animal husbandry and concerned about the prospectus animal. So therefore, just now between the mangrove and the paddy, so there's area side by side, yeah, between paddy field and the mangrove. So maybe we can use, and I think mangrove also can be used as the house of this owl. So maybe we can show to the farmer the different between in the middle of the open area of paddy field, of course, maybe close to the far away from the beach, yeah, and from the mangrove, and maybe paddy field close with the mangrove. So which one that the place that it is maybe abundant of red, I think we can compare, or we can have such kind of the study. So therefore, this is only my concern. And what do you think about the population of owl now? Increase, or you must supply again? I don't know exactly about this situation. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the questions. It's actually between the mangrove forest and the paddy fields. It's not actually too close and not too side by side, because there's we have to like to some not that close to between each other. So if we want to use mangrove tree as their nest, it is not possible because it's too short and it's not high enough. Yeah, because it needs for the natural habitats of Tito alba is on the treetops, and if we use something is more too short or not too high, like maybe 3.5 to 4 meters, I think it's gonna be disrupt the nest. And for the second question is the Tito alba populations. For me, Tito alba is being preserved and conserved because because of the use of it as natural enemy, so it's increasing in Karawang.
Okay.
Yeah, farmers are being introduced by the ministry to utilize the Tito alba as the natural enemy, so they kind of increasing the populations.
Bibin Sensei, okay?
Oh, okay, Sensei.
Okay, so are there any question or comment?
Enough,
Okay,
Sensei.
Okay, so if no, let's close this session. Okay, so thank you very much all the presenters, and and I really enjoyed all the presentations, and thank you very much for the active discussion. I expect the more active discussion in the tomorrow session. Before closing the today's workshop, Bibin Sensei, do you have some comments?
Yeah, please open your camera.
Okay, please open your camera, show your face.
And please smile. Okay. Oh, something wrong. Okay. Okay, thank you. So open your camera.
Still open.
Yeah, still open. Halo Pak B. Halo Pak Sadidan. Ya. Okay. Wait a moment. So some of. Okay. So halo Pak Sadidan. And also hello from UiTM, Pak Secha. Hello, Secha Sang. And well, I think
Enough?
Enough. Thank you, Sensei. Enough. Thank you. Hello, Sensei.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So no announcement.
Okay. Just that's all. Tomorrow.
Okay. So let's close today's workshop, and tomorrow we will start the 11.
Yeah, the same time.
Yeah, the same time. So 11 o'clock, the Japanese time. Please access the Zoom. Okay, thank you very much. See you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Arigato. Terima kasih.